If you are a woman who has grown and given birth to children and your body looks like you have grown and given birth to children,
shame on you!
When these women can pop out children left, right, and center and still have perfect bodies like this, with their flat stomachs and small waists and perky boobs and slim thighs, but you look like this with your saggy belly, saggy boobs, and cellulite, well, there's just no excuse, is there? If they can look like this, why the hell can't you?
Are you kidding me?
This is basically the message that society is sending to mothers everywhere. If you are a woman, you should aspire to have children. I mean, it's basically your duty as a female. But don't you dare look like you had them. You can post as many big-bellied shots as you like while you're pregnant. Go ahead, eat for two. Put your feet up. You're growing a baby, remember? But boy, oh boy, how the story changes once you've given birth. Then your big belly is no longer cute. You're no longer allowed to eat for two. Heck, society doesn't even want you eating for one. Be like these women who started dieting right after popping their babies out. Yes, it's your duty as a woman to have children, but it's your obligation to get your pre-baby body back. Do it for your man. Do it for wider society. Heck, do it for the people that have to look at you. But where, oh where, in this messaging, are we actually encouraging the women themselves to do anything for their own health or happiness? The pressure on mothers to have children but look like they didn't is intense.
So, a lot of girls want to know, because you look fantastic again. How did you get back to your shape after your birth? Is your weight back to normal?
Yeah, it is.
Can I check? Do you mind?
Oh no, you did this to Jerry, didn't you?
Come on.
No, but Jerry was like really small.
Yeah, but it's all right.
This is horrible.
She only got to number 2, it's all right.
No. Yeah, number 2's great.
Is it all right,
Right,
number 2?
okay.
You can afford number 2s, can't you? 8 stone's not bad at all, is it?
We see it everywhere. This subliminal messaging that if these women can have children and look like this, so should you. Let's just ignore the fact that these women have personal chefs to cook nourishing meals for them, nannies to take care of their children, personal trainers to whip their bodies back into shape. Heck, these women are basically paid to look like this. Looking good, or at least looking good according to society's current unrealistic beauty standards, is basically their job. They don't have to run around after their children. The nanny does that. They don't have to clean their house. The cleaner does that. They don't have to work 9 to 5 and then rush off to pick up the kids from school and then rush home to get dinner on the table, then rush around to tidy up the house before you go to bed, wondering where the heck the day went and feeling down about their bodies because they don't have a spare 5 minutes to themselves. These women's sole job is to look good. Everything else is taken care of. And yet we're told that we should be comparing ourselves and our post-baby bodies to this? How is that a fair comparison? It's so fucking unfair. But that hasn't stopped women world over trying desperately to live up to these unrealistic beauty standards that are placed on our shoulders as mothers. There are millions of women world over who don't have private chefs or nannies who are still beating themselves up for not looking like a damn Barbie after having their children, and they are so desperate to look good that they resort to desperate measures to regain their pre-baby bodies. Enter the rise of the mummy makeover. Sounds innocent, right? A bit of makeup, a manicure, a pedicure, maybe a blow dry if you're feeling fancy, and ta-da! You're a new woman. Not quite. The mummy makeover is much more than that. And I don't mean much more in a good way either. Oh no, my friends. The mummy makeover is about as toxic, both figuratively and literally, as it gets. As we know, us mums don't get a whole lot of time to ourselves. But what I've learned as a mother to 2 young boys is that it's the whole put your own life jacket on first before helping others situation. And that is where this video's sponsor HelloFresh come in. HelloFresh is like a mother's assistant in the kitchen. You simply pop onto the website, select which meals you think look delicious for the week ahead, tell HelloFresh how many people you're feeding, and voila! Your box arrives to your door with all the ingredients you need to create the meals that you chose, and in the correct amounts. You even get this handy little recipe card that shows you step by step how to create the meal you chose, so that even if you're not a great cook, well, you can't really go wrong. This means no food wastage, as all the ingredients arrive in the perfect amounts. No time wasted driving to the grocery store, farting around in said grocery store, or ending up impulse buying items that you definitely didn't need and potentially can't even afford because you're hungry in said grocery store. Guilty. It's all there in your box, ready to go. It's genius. It's like having your own personal chef in the kitchen, except you're actually learning to cook from scratch yourself, and my friends, that is a damn valuable skill to have. So if you want to start cooking delicious, nutrient-dense meals yourself at home with the added convenience of having the meals delivered right to your front door, you can use my HelloFresh link and discount code to get 16 free meals Yes, you heard that right. And 1 free breakfast item. That is huge. I will pop both the link and the code in the description box down below so you guys can get cooking, get eating, and get nourishing your beautiful bodies. This offer is for those of you mamas who are in the US, but the link and code work worldwide, so you can get a different offer depending on where you live, so you're all included. The mummy makeover includes, but is not limited to, a boob job, tummy tuck, vaginal rejuvenation, which sounds impressive but is basically just a marketing term for making your foof look prettier, breast lift, butt enlargement, and lift, and liposuction. The mummy makeover usually consists of women undergoing multiple procedures within the one surgery so that the recovery time is reduced, which I get. I mean, I'm a busy mother myself. We don't have a whole lot of time to just sit around after having plastic surgery to recoup and heal. Getting it all done at once is very appealing. You can go from looking like this to this. What could go wrong? Well, a lot. Actually, look at Shannon Palmer, a mother from the US who traveled to Mexico to undergo her mummy makeover.
I'm permanently disfigured for the rest of my life.
Shannon Palmer crossed the border for a so-called mommy makeover, but she says immediately when waking up from anesthesia, she knew something was wrong.
My fingers were cold, numb, and I started to worry about the circulation. When I got home, they told me the news saying that you're likely going to have an amputation on your dominant thumb.
Now, not to demean Shannon's injuries from her mummy makeover gone wrong, but losing a few fingers is nothing compared to losing your life. I'm not exaggerating here, guys. People were shocked, horrified, and heartbroken when social media influencer and star of reality show Wild 'N Out died at the age of 32 after undergoing a mummy makeover. Look at this beautiful woman, guys. She's just gorgeous. It breaks my heart to think that this precious woman and mother of 3 young babies died trying to fit this narrow narrative that we've set for her. The fact that she obviously didn't feel that her body was beautiful or worthy after having her children, that she underwent surgery and subsequently died, it makes me mad, and it should make you mad too. I dare anyone to look at Jacqueline and tell me that she wasn't absolutely perfect the way she was. How far we have fallen as a society that she didn't see that. And then there's mother of 4, Lauren Robinson from Texas, who died after contracting fungal meningitis after undergoing a mummy makeover. Lauren traveled to Mexico for her mummy makeover as, let's be real, plastic surgery is bloody expensive, and if you're undergoing a mummy makeover with its multiple procedures in one sitting, that's going to cost a pretty penny. Hence why lots of women travel to cheaper destinations in order to undergo plastic surgery at cut cost prices. There's a reason why surgery is bloody expensive, and it should be a huge red flag if it's going cheap. Unfortunately for poor Lauren, whilst technically speaking I suppose her surgery went well in that according to her husband the results were great, in the months after her surgery she began experiencing headaches. It turns out that Lauren had contracted fungal meningitis, which health officials believe was contracted from unsterilized equipment used during the plastic surgeries. Her 4 little kids now have to grow up without their mother because our society and our beauty standards told her that she wasn't good enough after having her children and that she needed to undergo surgery in order to feel good about herself and to be considered attractive and to have any semblance of self-esteem. It's so unfair. And Lauren and Jacqueline's cases aren't rare, guys. There are hundreds of mothers who have died as a result of trying to live up to society's expectation of what they should look like after having children. And it's not just the mothers who travel to places like Mexico who have had, shall we say, unfortunate results. Brazilian-born Adriana de Silva traveled to Florida in the USA to undergo her mummy makeover. Adriana told her friends that the surgery was a joint birthday and Mother's Day present to herself, and that just makes me want to cry. Adriana, who was studying to become a nurse, fell into a coma 2 days after her mummy makeover, suffered a stroke, and later died. Her mummy makeover had consisted of a tummy tuck, neck liposuction, and a boob job. Seriously, do us women not go through enough as it is, growing and giving birth to our children without then having to further subject ourselves to shit like this? Something's gotta change. Say it with me, girls. Enough is enough. The surgeon who performed Adriana's surgery said that nothing unusual happened during Adriana's surgery and that she had an unfortunate incident and that it can happen to anyone. Getting multiple plastic surgeries performed on your body in the one sitting, it's a lot. And yet all over social media, you'll see mumfluencers, aka mummy influencers, promoting and celebrating their successful mummy makeovers. Look at the Irish mummy influencer Anna Saccone, a mother of 4 who, like most mothers, had slightly stretched skin on her stomach, her belly wasn't quite as flat as before having children, and having breastfed 4 kids, her boobs weren't quite as perky. A natural and normal occurrence. However, luckily for Anna, her thoughtful husband Jonathan booked her mummy makeover surgery. How kind of him. Anna underwent a boob lift, tummy tuck and liposuction to suck the fat out of her stomach and re-inject it into her boobs.
So they're doing liposuction out of my tummy into my breasts.
All I can say is ouch and why.
I'm getting done in like layman's terms.
Yeah, let's do layman's.
Is tummy tuck and fat transfer. So I'm getting a breast lift. That was very important to me because my breasts are extremely saggy. Like I can't not wear a bra, and when I don't wear a bra,
I was 100% behind that decision.
They're literally down here.
They're just floppy.
Anna's looking great. I've seen underneath all the things here. It all looks fantastic. It's crazy. It's so different. You know, obviously, you know, I don't know if we'll ever be able to share that, but, you know.
Oh, the boobies.
Yeah, it's just incredible. It's like, what?
You can in like a bikini.
Yeah, no, you'll see, yeah, because you never really had cleavage, you know what I mean? And now, well, you did when you were a kid. Not a kid, but like, this is going wrong.
They look huge. He was like, they're not actually going to be that size.
Well, I don't know, I'll enjoy it during that time.
I mean, at least her husband seems supportive, I guess. Now, Anna has spoken openly in the past about suffering from an eating disorder and struggling with her body image, and so I hope that this mummy makeover plastic surgery won't just add fuel to the fire and start her down a slippery slope of surgeries and tweakments, because as is so often the case when it comes to body image disorders, plastic surgery doesn't actually end up helping at all. And in fact, it can actually make those issues worse, leading to body dysmorphia and repeated unnecessary surgical procedures in a bid to achieve perfection, when really therapy would have been more beneficial in these circumstances. Then there's Catherine from the Ace Family YouTube channel, who has 3.8 million views on her mummy makeover video.
So I did two things. So first I did my arms, and the procedure is called air sculpt. So it's a non-invasive procedure. You do it awake and it's pretty quickly, and it's considered like a lipo, which I wasn't actually aware of that, but it's considered like a lipo. And then I also did my lower belly abdomen area, where I had like a pouch where you have like that baby pouch. What's interesting is going into the procedure, I wasn't actually planning on doing my belly. I was just planning on doing my arms.
This isn't just like when you go to Sephora and you get up to the counter and you add on like a little travel cleanser. This is surgically altering your body's natural physiology. Catherine herself said that the fat on her arms is genetic, that both she, her mother, her grandmother, probably her great-grandmother, and her great-grandmother before her had it too.
Genetically, like my mom has like fluffy arms, my grandmother did, and so on and so forth, and so it's genetic, so I have that as well.
Is that not something to be cherished? I mean, I love that. It's the whole, I got it from my mama. Like, is it only okay to get it from your mama when it's something that we currently deem to be desirable, such as like a big booty or big boobs? Then it's okay to get it from your mama. But if it's something like arm fat, girl, you better get that sucked out with a meter-long fucking needle. I mean, when you see this in action, it's no wonder that Catherine says it's taking a long time to heal.
They say like, oh, it's uninvasive, like you can go back to work the next day. A lot of people can, and I've actually talked to a lot of my friends who have done it, and they're like, yeah, I went back to the work the next day. But for me, it's taking a little longer to heal, and I'm not really sure why, but it's been about a week, and I just feel like I'm still trying to like recover. I think another week I'll probably feel a lot better.
But do you know what upsets me personally about watching these big influencers with huge platforms speak so openly and honestly and positively about their mummy makeovers? It's not the fact that they are speaking openly and honestly. I mean, that is to be applauded. But surely I'm not the only woman here that is kind of disgusted that mummy makeovers are even a thing and that they are becoming so normalized. And then there's the comments under influencers who have had mummy makeovers videos, and the comments honestly make me so sad. Like this one, I'm so happy for Anna. After 5 pregnancies, bringing 4 beautiful children into the world and doing everything for them, she truly deserves to do something for herself. Girl, doing something for herself would be getting a relaxing massage, booking in for a spa day, a holiday where she can make wonderful memories, not life-threatening plastic surgery so that she can force her body to adhere to our beauty standards. Look, I love that these comments are so supportive and so sweet. We need more of that on the internet. But I just hate that we are applauding women for going under the knife, having life-threatening plastic surgery in order to look like we did prior to having children. What is wrong with looking like you had children if you had children? That is the problem here. And it's not because I want these mothers to suffer with self-esteem issues or even indeed health issues after having children, because it can take a lot out of your body. But I hate that these mothers felt like they needed to look like they did prior to having children in the first place. Repeat after me, my friends. There is nothing wrong with having children and your body looking like it had children. I certainly don't look the same now as I did before having my 2 sons. And yet there is not a single part of me that feels the desire to undergo a mummy makeover. You could not pay me to undergo a mummy makeover. And yet, that is something that is also happening. Influencers are being paid by plastic surgeons to undergo mummy makeovers to promote the surgery to their followers. How fucked up is that? Influencer and former reality star Hazel E nearly died after undergoing a mummy makeover in Turkey. Why Turkey, you may ask? She was offered the surgery for free in return for promotion due to her being an influencer.
Our next guest became a reality star on Love and Hip Hop, talking to us about the pressure to snap back after giving birth and how plastic surgery almost took her life.
I decided to go for a traditional mommy makeover, which is like a tummy tuck, breast augmentation, and liposuction.
Why travel overseas to have plastic surgery in the middle of a pandemic, mind you? And you were just talking about you had a newborn. A lot going on.
Yeah, it was about 9 months after. Honestly, it was an offer for being an influencer on social media.
You'd think that would have been the first red flag, right? Apparently not.
You know, you pay thousands of dollars for these procedures. I wasn't even thinking about a mommy makeover because my daughter was only 9 months at the time. But they were like, no, it's fine. We can do it now. You're 9 months postpartum. We can take the selling point was we can take more fat than they can in America because we don't have the same HIPAA guidelines, which now currently that might not be such a good thing, right?
Second red flag, anyone? The fact that they proudly state that they can remove more fat than you are legally allowed to do in the US? Perhaps those rules are in place for a reason?
The first thing that goes wrong is my breasts getting infected. So they had to then remove the breast implants that I didn't even want and make boobs out of what the tissue I had left. So that was the first disappointment. I then ended up with 2 blood transfusions. And then I had to go under a 3rd surgery because the tummy tuck got infected. So they had to cut they reopened the tummy tuck and remove the fat necrosis in that.
It really bloody concerns me that these influencers are using their huge platforms to promote plastic surgery and mummy makeovers to their followers. Not because plastic surgery itself is illegal or immoral or anything like that, but because these mummy influencers with huge fan bases and equally huge bank balances normalizing and inadvertently promoting mummy makeovers, tummy tucks, liposuction and the like, is that the people they're influencing don't usually have the same amount of disposable income to spend on enlisting the top plastic surgeons who will do a safe and good job. Instead, as we're seeing more and more often, these women will see the results of their favorite mummy influencer and they so desperately want to have the same amazing results that they'll resort to less prestigious clinics, and for a lot of women, that spells disaster. If you've watched this whole video and I haven't managed to convince you that your post-baby body is just as beautiful and worthy as your pre-baby body, and that you don't need to change a single thing about yourself, and that the only thing that actually needs to change is the pressure that society puts on women to fit neatly into a little box and snap back into shape like a damn elastic band after having our children, and you feel like you want to undergo a mummy makeover, I won't stop you. I mean, I can't. But I do want you to be as safe as possible. So what I will say is, if you want to undergo a mummy makeover, please, please, please do your due diligence. This is your life we're talking about. So here are 2 very, very important things to look out for if you decide that mummy makeover surgery is for you. Find a plastic surgeon who is certified to perform a plastic surgery. In America, for example, that is the American Board of Plastic Surgery. Because technically speaking, any medical doctor can perform plastic surgery on you, but they probably shouldn't. You need an actual plastic surgeon for something as intense as a mummy makeover. I know the mummy makeover name makes it sound super playful and innocent, but as we've seen in this video, it absolutely is not. Make sure you enlist a surgeon who specializes in this particular kind of plastic surgery and knows what they are doing in order to minimize risks. Number 2 is you really, really, really need to make sure that you are able to speak with your surgeon prior, and I don't mean just on the morning of your surgery, I mean when you call up and you book your consultation, and make sure you are able to speak to the surgeon themselves, not the receptionist, not another staff member. You need to speak to the surgeon. And please, please, please don't get drawn into having your surgery performed in a clinic offering discounted plastic surgery or cheaper procedures. It's just not worth it. Now, my fellow mums watching this, I love your guts. You're absolutely beautiful the way you are. You don't need to fit into this little tiny box that society tells you you need to fit into. You're better than that. Your body has created life from nothing. We don't need to look like this to feel attractive, worthy, or beautiful after having our children. Saggy boobs? It's okay. Got a belly? That's cute. Who doesn't love a cuddly belly? Got cellulite? Honey, so does every single damn supermodel in the world. You don't need to surgically alter yourself. You don't need to change. We do. Our society needs to change.